Well, welcome to another edition of the Cultural Arts Corner podcast. My name is John Wilson. I'm the Director of Cultural Arts, and it is so good to be back in studio. It has been a hot minute since we've done one of these. In fact, I literally can't remember when I was last in studio, who I was talking with, and what we were talking about. I literally can't remember that. So it's been a while, but it's so good to be back. And today is a very special day because we just ended the 29th Annual Jewish Film Festival, and this is my, let's just call it my annual wrap-up where I rank all the movies that we showed during the festival. And I just want to say a little bit about the festival because we were in a brand new location, the remodeled B&B Theaters in Creve Coeur. We put this festival over 2 weeks. We went Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, only 2 films a day. And you know what? Something just clicked. Everything coalesced together to just produce one of the most exciting events I've ever been a part of. We ended up expanding into three of our films ended up expanding into a second auditorium. And we sold out like 7 of our films. It was incredible. So I'm so appreciative of our film festival committee and all those that worked in curating this festival for everyone. This committee is amazing. I love them all. And they were so instrumental in helping bring this whole thing to fruition. So major kudos to them. All right, so let's get to the ranking. This is a day of celebration because I thought, we watched nearly 80 films and got it down to the 11 that we showed after our opening day of our 5 short Israeli student films from Superior College. And by the way, that's not going to be a part of the ranking. I don't even know how. It's like this big old jigsaw puzzle piece. Like, where would I fit these amazing films from Superior College? I wouldn't really know how to do it at all. I mean, we had an animated short feature, we had a couple documentaries, drama, comedy. All of these films were so incredibly unique, incredibly diverse, and so I just kind of want to just protect opening day, just put that off to the side and just make it its own thing that we were able to celebrate. And what a pleasure it was to have Yasmin Hoffman come in from Israel and talk about Eleanor specifically. So anyway, that's its own thing. So I'm not going to try and rank opening day or include opening day as part of the ranking. I think it's just going to muddy things up. So all right, so then we've got 11 films left that were shown over the next 5 days. And so that is what I'm going to rank. And so coming in at number 11 is our short 20-minute film called Heritage Day. Now, I got to give you just a little bit of history. When we watched this as a committee, we really thought it was so unique. And to be able to take a tough topic like the Holocaust, and it's always going to be a tough topic no matter what, but to then talk about it, experience it through the lens of an 8-year-old in 1985, that allowed some perspective that I thought was very unique. It was a really neat mother-daughter story, and it had humor in it. And so we really thought this was a unique opportunity to do a little double feature and show this film. But it comes in at number 11 because when I watched it a second time with a full house, it just didn't quite grab the audience like I thought it would. It just didn't quite have that same impact that it had when I just sat by myself in my office and was watching it on my work computer. So it comes in at number 11. And then coming in at number 10 is actually the second film of that double feature, which is The Catskills. Now, The Catskills is coming in at number 10, partly because I think the documentaries are going to just rank lower for me because I'm kind of a feature film guy and I really just love the story more than, say, the information of a film. So, my ranking, my rules, my opinion. So it's going to come in at number 10. But it's kind of a surprising number 10 because I did think that era of Jewish culture from the late 50s to the mid 80s was going to be really, really resonant with our audience. And not that it wasn't. I had a lot of positive feedback from our audience that saw that film. But surprisingly, some that was just like, it was all right. Yeah, that was fun. Been there, done that. So just kind of based on some audience feedback, I'm going to put it in the number 10 position. All right, then coming in at number 9 is another documentary, and this one almost feels criminal because coming in at number 9 is Exodus 91, and what an amazing film! It was a hybrid docudrama. The part that was dramatized was acted so incredibly well. I mean, these actors were so compelling. And then you got interviews with the real people that were involved in Project Solomon and the evacuation of 15 to 16,000 Jews, Ethiopian Jews, to Israel. And it was just it was so well done. Why does it rank at number 9? Well, there's a couple other documentaries in front of it, as good as it was, and I've got my feature films that I still need to talk about. So, yeah, it feels wrong. I mean, I feel shame ranking Exodus 91 at number 9. But there it is, because something has to rank at number 9. So, this is hard. This is really hard. I'm feeling a little triggered by something right now. It just feels wrong to have any of these films be ranked in such low spaces. Anyway, let's move on. All right, coming in at number 8 is a beautiful film. It is the story of Annette Zellman. This was remarkable. This was based on a true story. The parents of our Catholic protagonist turning in our Jewish protagonist, Annette, into the Gestapo because they want to stop the marriage between them. And oh my gosh, the heartache was so palpable. This film was really, really well done, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, I loved this film. But it's also just sad. And, sad stories can be really, really excellent. But they leave you sad. And so I'd rather feel something else besides sadness. So because of that, I will put it at number 8. But, amazing film. All right, coming in at number 7 is, again, this feels like something that is incredibly just unfair to the artistry of this film, but I'm going to go with My Neighbor Adolf. Again, we're dealing with the Holocaust, but now we're into the 1960s, and it was a comedy. The two main actors were just fantastic, and they had very complex roles. This was not an easy acting job. It had some unexpected suspense. Like, the film made me nervous because of the tension between these two neighbors. And I also got to learn, that Hitler had all these doubles, and which makes sense. I mean, leaders have done that before, but I didn't know about that, and so that was like an interesting, grain of knowledge that I gained. But this was a great film. It was a comedy. It had a little bit of melancholy to it, but it was very, very good. But it's coming in at number 7, and so we're going to move on. All right, another documentary. And this was also done with excellence. And it was a bit of a hybrid docudrama as well, because it had actors playing some of these real people. But Vishniak is coming in at number 6. one of my absolute favorite documentaries. Not only did I not know just the science and the history surrounding Roman Vishniak, but then to get to see all of these photographs, just amazing, and to be able to have this narrated and moved along by his daughter, and to get the inside scoop about what it was like in their household between Roman and his wife, and then the relationship between the brother and the sister, and it was so personal, so much more personal than I would have expected, and it was shot so incredibly well, and all of the scenes that were dramatized were acted extremely well. So just an absolute pleasure. I thought it was very, very good. We're going to go with another documentary for our film coming in at number 5, and this was Remembering Gene Wilder. Wow, just wow, so well done. Tip of the hat to Glenn Kirschbaum. I mean, and how fun was that to have him in the grand screen and talking to us before and the Q&A afterwards. This was just fantastic. A fantastic documentary. And of course, just to get to see all of those famous clips and clips from films that I had never seen and some of them I didn't even know about. And just the legacy of Gene Wilder. So fantastic. So that comes in at number 5. All right, the last 4. They're all feature films. And coming in at number 4 is The Way to Happiness. If you remember, this is the Kindertransport kid who grows up, ends up in Brussels, wants to be a film producer, owns a movie-themed cafe, and it's a combination of seeing the film that he is producing being made, so that takes you back into the past, and you get to see his childhood, and also mixed with a love story that has a twist. And it ends up with a happy ending. These actors were amazing. It had conflict and heartache, but it was definitely a feel-good film. And so The Way to Happiness comes in at number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Love Gets a Room. This might be a controversial pick. You might be thinking now, how did that get ranked so high? Because this may not have been everyone's cup of tea. But it was my cup of tea because it was just so artistic. I don't know if you remember watching this and remembering that like the first 10 minutes of the film is a single shot. They never cut. We're following our female protagonist through the ghetto of Poland, in and out of buildings, backstage to where their theater is, outside of that, and there were lots of long shots like that. The stakes of this film, when one of the main characters gets an opportunity to leave, and she has to decide, is she going to go with the man who still loves her, or stay with the man that she loves? And it's this great, great conflict, and ultimately, as we know, it ends up being the man that she's in love with and his little sister. And they are the ones that go. And the other two stay behind. This film, I loved it because it had to do with theater, and I'm a theater guy, and it was, predominantly takes place on stage during their play / musical. The songs were clever, the acting was fun, and the actor playing the German soldier who really comes in for his one big scene, which is like 15 minutes long near the end of the film, that guy was terrifying. I mean, just terrifying. It was like watching a live animal. He was so unpredictable, and I had such an appreciation of what he was doing with that role. I thought that actor and that character were just captivating because they were so scary. So, Love Gets a Room. All right. Coming in then at number 2 is Matchmaking. And this was such a wonderful film. The Orthodox community in conflict with our two different sects of Judaism, and these star-crossed lovers who ultimately find each other. And it's not a tragedy; it's a total comedy. Really wonderfully acted, very romantic. Young romance is so fun. It's just fun to connect with the first love theme. We've all had those first loves, and it's just really fun to watch that. And it was really, really well done, and I just loved Matchmaking. And so that comes in at number 2, which then brings us to the number 1 film. You all heard me talk about this film for 2 weeks, so nobody is surprised. There is no spoiler alert on this one, because it was the most romantic film ever made, which I have said several times. Our Italian masterpiece, The Shadow of the Day. Oh my gosh. It was so good. I could just watch that film like once a month and just like get in touch with romance and just all the things that film did. And it also had like danger and suspense, and you really felt like you were in late 1930s Italy. So they really captured the period really well. But the main actors were just outstanding. And it was melancholy, but it had a good ending, for coming across what I would consider somewhat of a Holocaust themed film. I mean, it was, late 1930s, so it's pre official Holocaust period, but I mean, like the fascism of Italy and everything was like leading in that direction. And so it was set up for an absolute tragedy, but it ended very positively. And that was another reason just to love the film, because the conflicts did get resolved, and they got resolved in a messy way, but a very satisfying way. So The Shadow of the Day, number one, hands down. Who am I kidding? I'm not kidding anybody. I just love this film. So, okay, but now what I'm going to do is just tell you that it was so unsatisfactory to like go 11 through 1 that this is also, now I'm going to do like my second version of ranking, and they're all ties. So here's how it would look like really, all right? Coming in at number 4 is a tie between Heritage Day and the Catskills. Coming in at number 3 is a tie between Exodus 91, The Story of Annette Zellman, My Neighbor Adolf, Vishniak. Then coming in at number 2, another tie between Remembering Gene Wilder, The Way to Happiness, and Love Gets a Room. And the number 1 film of our festival is yet again another tie. Coming in at number 1 are both Matchmaking and The Shadow of the Day. That feels so much more satisfying. Nothing ranked below a 4. And that's really how it should be with this film festival, because I just thought the lineup was fantastic, if I do say so myself. And I did. All right. That's it for now. But I want to just give you a preview of some of the things that are coming up in the cultural arts. As far as the podcast goes, we are going to be bringing on Jessica Fishoff next time. She is our new director of literary arts. She is going to take over everything Jewish Book Festival and our used book sale. She has hit the ground running, and she is just a phenomenal person, and she is like perfectly suited for this role. She is going to take all of it to the next level. And so I'm excited for you to meet her. And so I'm going to bring her on so that you can get to know Jessica. Now, coming up, we have a number of really exciting performances. May 8th and 9th, we have Theater Unlimited doing, I guess, what I would call kind of a cabaret showcase. They are going to be doing scenes and monologues and songs, and I think it's going to be just incredible. The performance is free, but you just need to make a reservation. So you can contact Hannah Ryan at our box office, or you can just go right on ShowPass and do that as well. The following week is our youth theater presentation of Matilda Jr., which I think is going to be really, really fun. And then coming up at the end of the month is the next production in the new Jewish theater season, We All Fall Down. So May is just chock full of performances and cultural arts. And so we hope that you will join us for those. Remember that the whole purpose of the cultural arts at the J is just to bring connection and community, to let you engage with artistry that, I don't know, maybe teaches us a little bit about what it is to be human, grows our empathy, increases our sense of emotional availability, and just gets us focused on the present, on who we're doing life with and what it's all about. And I think that is a great purpose and mission of our cultural arts. And so I hope to see many of you in May. That's it for now. And it's been really fun to be back in studio. This ranking was both excruciating yet satisfying. And I will see you next time with Jessica Fishoff. So thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to the Cultural Arts Corner podcast. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and do all those things, and share with your friends so that more people can watch this content. Until next time.